Hello, I'm Jeff Jones, Fast Track Software's Territory Director for EMEA. Today I thought I would share with you a few tips that you can use to ensure your Admin By Request workstation deployment is in peak health. Admin By Request is a SaaS-based local admin rights solution that is extremely easy to implement and manage at an enterprise scale. That said, there are a few network and Windows endpoint configurations that can produce undesirable symptoms with your deployment. In this short webinar, I will show you 7 easy tests that will quickly enable you to diagnose that all is well with your Admin By Request environment. Tray icon color and connectivity status. The very first item on our checklist is the appearance of the Admin By Request tray icon. The icon can present being red, yellow, green, but for our workstation product, whatever the color, you should always see an icon in the tray. It might need to be dragged onto the tray if it's hidden on the toolbar menu. If there is no Admin By Request tray icon but the agent appears to be installed and is showing in the control panel programs and features, then it's possible that something has blocked our service from starting properly. The first thing to check would be your endpoint security software. It's possible that your solution has tagged our driver or executables as false positives. In the vast majority of deployments, our icon should be green, which signifies that you are not a permanent admin and that Admin By Request is active and ready for elevation. If the tray icon is yellow, then this signifies from the point of the initial install, Admin By Request has never been able to connect to the Admin By Request portal. Because no settings can be fetched from the portal by the endpoint, this is quite a serious issue. Check your network infrastructure such as firewalls and proxy systems. If the tray icon is red rather than green, this means you are still a true administrator, so in this case, Admin By Request did not revoke permanent local admin rights and therefore it is not being used for elevation. From Admin By Request version 7.3 onwards, in red icon mode we still log application elevations in the audit log. Assuming you have the tray icon whatever colour it is, you can use the connectivity option in the About menu to ensure our service is working correctly and that your AD, domain, Azure AD join is working correctly too. Does your admin session timer stop running soon after you start it? This is the test to confirm that there is nothing interfering with Admin By Request's admin session mode. Start an admin session and simply let the red countdown timer run for 5 seconds. If it's still running after 5 seconds, you're good. If the admin session timer quits almost immediately after starting, this is usually a problem with your logged in user being given admin rights by some other means outside of Admin By Request. Checks you might want to run to investigate this issue include looking to see if the logged in user is indeed in the local admin group, and if so, investigating any GPOs that might be applying policies that continually adds this user to the local admin group. Do you get a consent UAC pop-up without login when launching Task Manager? Getting a UAC pop-up when you have Admin By Request configured in consent mode is a symptom of a number of different issues. Specifically, if you have a green Admin By Request icon but also get a UAC consent prompt like this, there's a problem. The problem might be that the user has been given local admin rights by GPO, but if your session is not being immediately closed after starting, I would look to see if either the built-in group's authenticated users or interactive can be found in the local admin group. This is easy to check, so just do a net local group administrators to find out. If you don't have access to the endpoint to run that command, you can use the Admin By Request inventory system to check for these groups under local admins for that computer. Do you get a UAC prompt with your username pre-populated when launching Task Manager non-elevated? One of the most common telltale signs of a conflict with your existing security policy and Admin By Request is the appearance of the UAC login prompt when you try and start Task Manager. So where previously we have discussed the UAC consent prompt with the yes/no, with this issue you get a UAC pop-up asking for a password. When launching as a non-admin, Task Manager should never invoke a UAC prompt, so if you're seeing that, you've got a problem. Aside from causing annoying UAC pop-ups, this problem can cause Admin By Request to behave erratically. Some applications may not elevate correctly, and some might throw errors on installation. The following are all possible root causes of this behavior. The user or group that the user belongs to is a member of the local power users or network configuration operators groups. The user is a member of the group policy creators owner group. In policies, Windows settings, security settings, local policies, user rights assignment, the policy load and unload device drivers has a user or a group the user belongs to listed. Do you get an additional UAC prompt immediately after elevating manifest files from any location on your computer? You can tell a manifest file because there's a little shield on it which signifies that the executable must be run elevated. With this problem, after you click on the manifest file and get the Admin By Request yes/no confirm prompt, you'll be presented with an additional Windows UAC prompt. This is another symptom of membership of the Group Policy Creator Owners group mentioned previously. Do you get a UAC prompt when elevating manifest files from somewhere other than the Windows desktop? With this problem, instead of Admin By Request being triggered when you double-click the manifest file, you get a Windows UAC login prompt instead. Interestingly, the problem only occurs when launching manifest files from anywhere other than the Windows desktop. When run from the Windows desktop, executables launch fine. This problem is likely caused because you have launch folder windows in a separate process enabled either manually on the endpoint or a setting is deployed via GPO. When you elevate command prompt, does the window not show as being elevated with administrator rights? If the command prompt doesn't show as being elevated by administrator, even though you've elevated using Admin By Request, this is a big red flag with your Admin By Request deployment. This is a common symptom of the group membership and group policy configuration we discussed previously, so fix those issues and this one will be fixed too. And that's the end of our quick health check checkup webinar. I hope you found it useful and that any niggles reported by your Admin By Request agents were correctly diagnosed and cured. If you have any problem that was not covered in the health check, please do submit a ticket via the Admin By Request portal and we will soon be in touch to help.